Welcome to the deep dive.
Great to be here.
Today, we're digging into a really interesting intersection. We're pulling insights from Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power and Wallace D. Wattles' The Science of Getting Rich.
Yeah, that's quite a pairing, isn't it? Seems almost contradictory on the surface.
It really does. One book often feels quite, let's say, strategic, maybe even a bit cutthroat.
That's the reputation, certainly. And the other is all about cultivating this specific mindset for, well, prosperity. They seem like they'd clash.
Exactly. But our deep dive today is all about what happens when you bring them together, specifically looking at them through a powerful central idea.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What's the mission here?
The mission is to explore a kind of redefined way of thinking about wealth and influence that emerges when you integrate these two.
So using a core concept to bridge them.
Yeah. Get ready to see some familiar concepts, maybe in a totally new light.
It's always fascinating how a single underlying philosophy can completely recontextualize strategies you thought you understood.
Okay, let's unpack this. The core concept, let's call it the master principle that ties these sources together, is the law of abundance.
Right. And this isn't just like wishful thinking or simple positive thinking. It's presented in these sources as a fundamental truth.
A fundamental truth. How so?
The core belief is that there is genuinely more than enough success, wealth, opportunity, you name it, available for everyone. It's a huge shift away from scarcity.
Just think about that for a second.
Yeah.
Moving away from that zero-sum game idea that for me to win, you have to lose.
Exactly. Towards a reality where potential and resources are seen as vast, even expandable.
And this abundance mindset, according to the sources, is the key. The foundation for what? Ethical strategies.
Ethical, empowered strategies, yeah. For manifesting wealth and influence, it shapes how you wield power.
So it's less about domination.
Much less. It moves towards collaboration, towards win-win outcomes, building positive relationships. Wealth creation, in this view, it stems from clear thought, purposeful action, and this deep-seated faith in abundance.
Okay, so how does this actually change things? This is where it gets really interesting, right? Applying this abundance lens to Greene's laws of power.
This is where the transformation happens. The source material takes some of these famous or infamous laws and shows how the abundance principle totally changes their spirit and application.
Okay, let's get concrete. Give us an example. How about Law 3? Conceal your successes. That sounds pretty scarcity-driven. Hide your wins.
Totally. In a scarcity mindset, that's about keeping rivals guessing, hoarding your advantages, right? Don't look at how well you're doing.
Standard competitive strategy, maybe.
But view it through abundance. The interpretation shifts completely. It's not about concealing personal victories out of fear.
So what is it about?
The idea becomes perhaps concealing or downplaying the individual win to better highlight the overarching vision of abundance for all.
Ah, okay. So your success isn't just yours. It's proof of a bigger principle.
Exactly. It contributes to the picture of plenty. It demonstrates the system works rather than just padding your personal stash. You're not hiding from competition. You might be deflecting focus from the me to the we or the potential.
Wow, okay. That's a fundamentally different motivation. Less personal stealth, more pointing to the bigger picture.
Right. Now, let's take another tricky one. Law 11. Learn to keep people dependent on you. That just screams control, doesn't it?
It really does. Sounds manipulative in a scarcity world. Make people need you so you have power over them.
But again, apply the abundance principle. The source material suggests a dramatic shift. It moves from control based on imposed neediness to what they call value-based interdependence.
Value-based interdependence. What does that mean, practically?
It means you become indispensable not by, say, hoarding information or creating bottlenecks, but by consistently creating immense value, systems, services, results that people genuinely need and benefit from.
So they depend on the value you provide, not on manipulation.
Precisely. They rely on your contribution to their success within this abundant framework. You gain influence by being essential, by being a reliable source of value that helps others thrive too. Wealth follows that value creation.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. You're not a gatekeeper. You're a vital part of a value network. Interesting. How about Law 12? Use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. That word victim itself feels really out of place here.
It absolutely does. That language is rooted in conflict, in a zero-sum game. The abundance perspective reframes this entirely. Think strategic sincerity.
Strategic sincerity. Okay, unpack that.
Generosity in this view doesn't come from a calculated ploy to make someone vulnerable. It flows naturally from a belief in plenty. You give because you know there's more where that came from, enough for everyone.
And the honesty part.
Honesty becomes a tool, yes, but a tool to build genuine trust and resonance. You're connecting authentically, not just trying to catch someone off guard.
So generosity and honesty becomes tools of alignment.
Exactly. You use them consciously, authentically to expand your network of influence and create mutual wealth. Not to disarm a victim, but to build a team of collaborators.
Okay, that resonates. What about Law 13? When asking for help, appeal to people's self-interest, never to their mercy or gratitude. How does that fit?
Well, this one actually aligns surprisingly well with abundance thinking, because abundance recognizes that everyone operates from a place of creative desire, of wanting more, of self-interest in a positive sense.
So the advice isn't cynical, it's just realistic within this framework.
Pretty much. The interpretation becomes, approach others with an offer of mutual gain. Frame opportunities through the lens of shared success. It understands that wealth and influence flow most smoothly where self-interest and the service you offer align naturally. It's about finding that win-win.
Makes sense. Not exploiting self-interest, but aligning with it for mutual benefit.
Yeah.
Okay, how about something like Law 21? Play a sucker to catch a sucker. That sounds purely manipulative.
It certainly can be read that way in a scarcity context, feigning weakness or ignorance to lure someone into a trap.
Right.
But the abundance reinterpretation shifts it towards strategic humility. It's not about playing dumb to trick someone. It's more about genuinely acknowledging the vast abundance around you, maybe letting others underestimate you slightly.
Why would you do that?
Because this kind of authentic humility can actually build genuine relationships. It draws people in, attracts opportunities naturally because you're not posturing or competing aggressively. It fosters collaboration, not just competition. You let the abundance speak for itself, in a way.
Less deception, more. Quiet confidence in the bigger picture. Interesting. Let's try Law 33. Discover each man's thumbscrew. That sounds quite dark.
It does sound harsh, like finding a weakness to exploit, but with an abundance mindset, the focus shifts. It becomes about understanding people's core desires and motivations, specifically as they relate to success, wealth, and achieving their potential within this abundant framework.
So finding their thumbscrew means understanding their deepest aspirations for abundance.
Sort of. You identify what truly drives them, their financial goals, their dreams of contribution, their desire for security within a world of plenty. Then you tailor your approach, your offers, your collaborations to genuinely appeal to those specific drivers. You gain influence by addressing their needs and vulnerabilities related to achieving success in an abundant way.
Got it. It's about understanding motivations to align and uplift, not just to control. Okay, one more from the list, Law 43. Work on the hearts and minds of others.
Yeah, we touched on this briefly. In a scarcity model, that could easily mean propaganda, manipulation, playing on fears for your own gain.
Standard power tactics, maybe.
But with abundance thinking, it's transformed. It means fostering a mindset, both in yourself and others, that deeply aligns individual wealth creation with collective prosperity.
How did you do that?
You influence people by genuinely connecting with their values, their aspirations, especially those related to achieving more and contributing more within this idea of limitless potential. You motivate them by showing how their success is actually linked to helping others succeed too.
So it's about inspiration, not manipulation.
Exactly. It's about building real trust, creating clear win-win scenarios. You open doors for your own prosperity, your own influence, precisely because you are actively invested in helping others thrive. Working on hearts and minds means inspiring them to embrace abundance for everyone.
Okay, so stepping back, the overall picture emerging from blending these sources, it's not really about making the 48 laws nicer, is it?
No, not just nicer. It's about fundamentally changing their underlying purpose and mechanism. It's a significant shift away from scarcity, intense competition, and zero-sum thinking.
Towards
Abundance, collaboration, creativity, and genuinely seeking win-win outcomes.
So this integrated approach, it really emphasizes ethical action, but still strategic.
Absolutely. Ethical, strategic actions that build lasting, value-based relationships. It encourages flexibility, finding new ways to create value, and maintaining real integrity.
Because your success isn't built on someone else failing.
Precisely. It suggests that sustainable, significant success, real wealth, real influence comes from wielding power in a way that constantly creates and adds value.
Fostering genuine cooperation, building supportive networks.
Networks that generate abundant opportunities, not just for you, but for everyone involved. It really is that rising tide lifting all boats idea.
It challenges that whole common assumption, doesn't it? That power is about grabbing a bigger slice of a limited pie.
Completely. Instead, it suggests true influence comes from showing how the pie can actually grow, maybe infinitely, and being the person who helps everyone get a satisfying slice.
So thinking about the listener, what does this all mean for you? How could this idea, this concept of abundance as the master principle, change the way you think about your own goals?
Yeah, how might it shift how you build relationships or how you pursue wealth and influence in your own life?
This deep dive, integrating these seemingly opposite principles of power and abundance, it really shows how much a core belief system can fundamentally reshape your whole strategic approach.
It's a potent challenge, I think, to the widespread idea that gaining influence or wealth must come at someone else's expense.
Suggesting instead that focusing on creating and sharing abundance, well, that might just be the most powerful and effective strategy of all.
So here's something maybe to reflect on as you go forward. If you truly deeply operated from a belief in unlimited potential and opportunity for absolutely everyone,
How would that change your very next action today?